Every time you walk into a room, a negotiation, or a relationship without knowing the hidden rules, you've already been assigned your role. And that role is never a winner. It's always a resource. Every interaction you have operates on invisible laws that determine who extracts value and who provides it, who dominates and who submits, who wins and who gets used. You've been playing a game your entire life without knowing the rules. You thought fairness mattered. You thought good intentions were enough. You thought being a good person meant good things would happen to you. You were catastrophically wrong. The world doesn't run on what you were taught in school. It runs on Machiavellian principles that separate predators from prey. And right now, you're prey wondering why you keep getting devoured. Why do you keep ending up in situations where you give more than you receive? Why do the same types of people keep taking advantage of your kindness, your time, your resources? Why do you work harder than everyone around you, but somehow they're the ones getting promoted, getting credit, getting ahead? You've been socialized to believe that the world is fair, that hard work is rewarded, that goodness is reciprocated, that treating people well means they'll treat you well. Every single one of these beliefs is a cage designed to keep you compliant, exploitable, and permanently positioned beneath those who understand what you don't. Think about the last time you went above and beyond for someone. You helped them when they needed it. You gave your time, your energy, your resources. What happened when you needed them? Where were they? Think about the project where you did most of the work. Who got the recognition? Think about the relationship where you were always available, always supportive, always there. Who left the moment they got what they needed? You've noticed the pattern, haven't you? You keep giving and they keep taking. You keep losing and they keep winning. And you've been telling yourself it's just bad luck or wrong people. It's not. It's because you don't know the rules. Machiavelli wrote that the world is divided into those who understand power and those who serve them. He understood that there are invisible laws governing every human interaction, and ignorance of these laws doesn't exempt you from their consequences. Sun Tzu observed that the general who doesn't understand the terrain will lose every battle on it. Both know what you're learning right now. There are rules. They're hidden from you deliberately. And the people who know them have been using them against you your entire life. You are currently suffering from a fairness delusion. You believe the world operates on merit, reciprocity, and justice. It doesn't. The world operates on power dynamics that most people never see because they're too busy being good, being fair, being kind. While you've been playing by rules that don't exist, others have been playing by rules that actually determine outcomes. You've been bringing honor to a knife fight. You've been playing checkers while they are playing chess. You are fundamentally mistaken about how winners and losers are decided. Today we are dismantling fairness delusion and replacing it with the 5 Machiavellian laws of power exchange. These are the hidden rules that decide every interaction you'll ever have. Most of you will reject this immediately. You'll say this is too cynical, too dark, too manipulative. You'll insist that good people don't think this way. Your attachment to being good is exactly why you keep being used. If you want to stay naive, stay exploited, stay wondering why bad things keep happening to good people like you, leave now. If you want to keep believing that the world will eventually reward your goodness, this message isn't for you. But if you want to understand the actual rules that govern who wins and who gets used, if you want to stop being prey and start being predator, if you want to finally understand why you keep losing to people who seem less deserving than you, then stay. Because the game has always had rules. You just weren't taught them. The people winning were. And they've been using your ignorance against you every single day. Rule 1, people don't value what comes easy. You make yourself too available. You say yes to every request. You help everyone who asks. You give your time, your knowledge, your resources freely because you think generosity builds relationships and earns respect. You think being helpful makes you valuable. What you're actually doing is training people to value you at zero. When something is always available, it becomes worthless. When help is always free, it's taken for granted. When you never say no, your yes means nothing. Think about the people you respect most. Are they the ones who drop everything for anyone? Or are they the ones whose time is difficult to access, whose help comes with conditions, whose attention is rare and therefore precious? You know the answer. Yet you keep operating as if the opposite is true. You keep being available, accommodating, endlessly helpful. And you wonder why people treat you like a resource instead of a person. You've noticed it, haven't you? The more you give, the less they appreciate it. The more available you are, the less they value your time. The easier you make it for them, the less respect they show you. This is the law of perceived value. Value is not determined by what something is worth objectively. Value is determined by scarcity and difficulty of access. Machiavelli understood that a prince who is too generous becomes poor and despised. Sun Tzu knew that the general who reveals all his forces loses the advantage of mystery. Both understood that making yourself abundant makes you worthless. The strategic shift is controlled scarcity. You become selective. You say no more than yes. You make people earn your time, your help, your resources. Not because you're cruel. Because you understand that what's easily obtained is never valued. From this second forward, you implement strategic unavailability. People ask for your help. Sometimes the answer is no. People want your time. Sometimes you're busy. People need your resources. Sometimes you can't provide them. Watch what happens. The people who only valued you as a resource disappear. They move on to easier targets. The people who actually value you as a person adjust their approach. They show more respect. They offer more in return. They treat you differently because you force them to. You've made yourself scarce. Scarcity creates value. You've just made yourself valuable by making yourself less available. Rule 2: whoever needs less controls everything. You need the job more than the job needs you. You need the relationship more than they need you. You need their approval more than they need yours. In every single dynamic where you need more than the other person, you've already lost. You are not negotiating from strength. You are begging from weakness. And the person who holds what you need knows it. They can see it in your body language, hear it in your voice, feel it in every interaction. Your need is their leverage. And they will use it. When you walk into a negotiation needing the outcome, you've surrendered your power before you've spoken a word. The employer knows you need the job. They offer less than you're worth because they know you'll take it. The partner knows you're afraid of being alone. They treat you poorly because they know you'll stay. The friend knows you need their validation. They withhold it to keep you chasing. Every single person in your life who has more power than you has that power for one reason. They need you less than you need them. Look at the relationships where you have power. They're the ones where you could walk away without consequence. Look at the relationships where you have none. They're the ones where walking away feels impossible. Machiavelli wrote that dependence is the death of power. Sun Tzu understood that the army that has no retreat fights with desperation but not with strength. Both knew that whoever can walk away holds all the cards. The real players understand this instinctively. They never let anyone see how much they need something. They always have options. They always have alternatives. They always appear as if they can take it or leave it. The transformation is building optionality into everything. You don't just have one job option. You're always looking. You don't just have one relationship. You have a life full enough that no single person is your entire world. You don't just have one path to your goal. You have multiple strategies. This isn't about being fake or uncommitted. This is about never putting yourself in a position where someone else's decision determines your fate. When you have options, you don't need any single option desperately. When you don't need desperately, you negotiate from power. When you negotiate from power, you win. It's that simple. Stop needing more than the other person. Start making them need you more than you need them. Rule 3: loyalty is bought, not earned. You think if you're loyal to people, they'll be loyal to you. You give loyalty freely, expecting it will be returned. You stand by people through their struggles, believing they'll stand by you through yours. You are operating on a fantasy. Loyalty is not reciprocal. Loyalty is transactional. People are loyal to you as long as you're useful to them. The moment you stop providing value, their loyalty evaporates like it never existed. You've seen this happen over and over. You just keep refusing to accept what it means. Think about the job that laid you off after years of dedication. Think about the friend who disappeared when you stopped being fun. Think about the partner who left when things got difficult. Where was their loyalty? Where was the reciprocation of all the loyalty you showed them? It didn't exist. Because loyalty isn't earned through devotion. Loyalty is purchased through continued value delivery. The moment you stop being valuable, loyalty ends. This is harsh. This is true. This is how the world actually works. Machiavelli wrote that princes should never trust the loyalty that comes from gratitude because gratitude is weak and temporary. He understood that people remain loyal only as long as it serves their interests. Sun Tzu knew that alliances last only as long as both parties benefit from them. The moment the benefit ends, the alliance ends. The real players never expect loyalty based on past service. They ensure ongoing loyalty by ensuring ongoing value. They make themselves indispensable. They make their absence more costly than their presence. They make betraying them more dangerous than staying loyal. From this moment forward, you stop giving loyalty freely and start making others earn your continued presence. This isn't about being disloyal. This is about recognizing that loyalty without reciprocal value exchange is just exploitation with a nice name. You evaluate every relationship based on current value exchange, not past history. People who take more than they give get less access to you. People who provide mutual value get continued loyalty. You've stopped being loyal to people who wouldn't cross the street for you. You've started being strategically aligned with people who demonstrate through actions, not words, that the relationship is mutually valuable. Rule 4: silence reveals more than speaking. You explain yourself constantly. You defend your decisions. You justify your choices. You fill every silence with words because you're uncomfortable with ambiguity. You think communication is clarity. What you're actually doing is handing over information that will be used to manipulate, predict, and control you. Every word you speak is data. Every explanation is a map to your thinking. Every justification is a window into your insecurities. You've been taught that communication is key. The real key is knowing when not to communicate. When you speak too much, you reveal too much. You show your hand before the cards are dealt. You announce your strategy before the game begins. You explain your position before the negotiation starts. The person listening isn't learning to understand you better. They're learning where you're vulnerable, what you care about, what you're afraid of. They're building a psychological profile they'll deploy the next time they need to extract something from you. Your openness is their intelligence gathering operation. And you've been volunteering information like it's free. Think about the last time you over-explained something. Maybe you justified why you couldn't help someone. Maybe you defended a decision you made. Maybe you explained why you were upset. What happened? Did the other person suddenly understand and respect your position? Or did they use your explanation to argue, manipulate, or make you feel guilty? You've noticed that the more you explain, the worse it gets. The more you speak, the more ammunition you provide. The more you reveal, the more they exploit. Machiavelli observed that wise princes speak little and reveal less. Sun Tzu wrote that the general whose plans are unknown is undefeatable. Both understood that strategic silence is power. The shift is radical reduction of explanation. Someone asks why you can't do something. You don't need to explain. No is a complete sentence. Someone questions your decision. You don't need to justify it. Your decision stands regardless of their understanding. Someone wants to know your plans. You don't need to share them. Mystery is protection. From this second forward, you become comfortable with silence. You become comfortable with people not understanding you. You become comfortable with ambiguity and refusal to explain. Because every word you don't speak is power you keep. Every explanation you don't give is leverage you maintain. Rule 5: appearances matter more than reality. You focus on being competent, being good at what you do, being actually skilled. You think results speak for themselves. You think quality work will be recognized automatically. You think substance matters more than style. You are losing to people with half your skill who understand something you don't. The world doesn't reward what's real. The world rewards what's perceived. Appearances aren't shallow. They're strategic. And your neglect of them is why you keep getting passed over for people who perform better than they produce. When you ignore how you're perceived, you surrender control of your reputation to whoever wants to define it. When you focus only on doing good work without managing perception, you allow others to take credit for it. When you believe substance over style, you lose to styled substance every single time. You've seen it happen. The colleague who talks a better game than they play gets the promotion. The person who looks the part gets chosen over the person who can do the part. The individual who manages perception beats the individual who only manages performance. Look at your current situation. Are you being rewarded proportionally to your actual contribution? Or are you watching people with better personal branding, better presentation skills, better appearance management getting ahead of you while doing less? This isn't unfair. This is the rule you didn't know. Sun Tzu understood that warfare is deception. Appearing weak when strong, strong when weak. Machiavelli wrote that it is unnecessary for a prince to have all the good qualities, but it is very necessary to appear to have them. Both knew that perception management is not optional. It's fundamental. The transformation is deliberate perception construction. You don't just do good work. You make sure the right people know you did it. You don't just have skills. You display them strategically. You don't just produce results. You frame those results in ways that maximize your credit and minimize others' ability to claim it. This isn't lying. This is refusing to let your real value be invisible while others' fake value is highlighted. You've been so focused on being real that you forgot reality only matters if people perceive it. From this second forward, you manage both. You produce the substance and you control the style. Because wins go to those who appear to deserve them, not always to those who actually do. But now we need to talk about why these 5 rules feel so wrong to you. You think your resistance is moral. You think rejecting these rules makes you a good person and following them makes you a bad person. This binary thinking is the final trap that keeps you permanently used. Let me expose the reality you're avoiding. The people using you aren't evil. They're just playing by rules you refuse to learn. The people winning aren't bad. They're just not naive. The difference between winners and losers isn't morality. It's awareness of how the game actually works. Your resistance to these rules comes from deeper programming. You've been taught that admitting the world works this way makes you cynical, cold, or manipulative. So you reject the truth to protect your self-image as a good person. Meanwhile, the so-called good people who use you have no such conflict. They take what you give. They leverage your ignorance. They win while you lose. And they sleep fine because they're not the ones being exploited. You are. Your morality hasn't protected you. It's imprisoned you. This is where you're losing the real battle. You think following these rules means becoming like the people who've hurt you. You're wrong. Following these rules means stopping the people who've hurt you from doing it again. Understanding how to avoid being used doesn't make you a user. It makes you someone who can't be used. Understanding power dynamics doesn't make you power hungry. It makes you powerful enough to protect yourself from those who are. You have to understand the law of strategic self-interest. Protecting yourself from exploitation isn't selfish. Allowing yourself to be exploited isn't noble. Machiavelli wrote that the prince who refuses to understand power will be destroyed by those who do. Sun Tzu warned that the general who fights with idealism instead of reality will lose to the general who fights with strategy. Both understood that refusing to see the world as it is doesn't change the world. It only ensures you'll be defeated by it. From this second forward, you separate your moral character from your strategic awareness. You can be a good person who understands bad rules. You can have integrity while refusing to be naive. You can be ethical while being strategically intelligent. The 5 rules aren't about becoming a bad person. They're about stopping bad people from making you their victim. The person you were when you started this video is dead. That person didn't know the rules. That person gave freely and got used to it. That person needed more than they were needed. That person gave loyalty without reciprocation. That person explained everything and revealed everything. That person focused on substance and ignored appearance. That person was naive. That person kept losing. You are no longer that person. From this moment forward, you are becoming a strategist. The one who understands the hidden rules and uses them for protection and advancement. You are developing something most good people never develop. Strategic intelligence. This doesn't make you bad. This makes you undefeatable by people who are. You make yourself scarce. You need nothing desperately. You buy loyalty through value. You speak less and reveal nothing. You manage perception as carefully as you manage performance. This transformation brings a specific kind of freedom that good people rarely experience. You stop being used. You stop being surprised when people act in their self-interest. You stop being disappointed when loyalty you gave isn't returned. You start winning negotiations. You start getting what you deserve. You start protecting yourself from exploitation while still maintaining your values. You've just added strategic intelligence to your moral foundation. You're not less good. You're good and dangerous. Good and protected. Good and winning. You are no longer the person everyone takes from because you're too naive to see it happening. You're the person people respect because they know you understand the game. You're not playing with blindfolds anymore. You see every move. You understand every dynamic. You protect yourself from every exploitation. The old you was good and used. The new you is good and untouchable. You are no longer available to be exploited by people who know these rules while you don't. You've leveled the playing field. You've armed yourself with knowledge that protects you from predators. The world hasn't changed. You have. And that changes everything. If you've made it to this point, you are part of the rare few who can handle the truth about how power actually works. Most people left when they realized these rules conflict with their comfortable illusions. They went back to being used, being naive, being good people who finish last. They chose the comfort of ignorance over the power of awareness. But you stayed. You have what it takes to be good and strategic simultaneously. This video introduced the 5 hidden rules. The complete system goes much deeper into how to apply these rules in specific situations, how to identify when they're being used against you, and how to combine strategic intelligence with personal integrity. If you're ready to stop being used and start winning while maintaining your values, join the inner circle where we master Machiavellian intelligence for self-protection and advancement. This isn't about becoming manipulative. This is about refusing to be manipulated. Like this video right now if you're done being naive. Subscribe and turn on notifications because the next lesson reveals how to recognize when these rules are being deployed against you in real time. Miss it and you'll stay vulnerable while others exploit your ignorance. The people around you are going to notice something different. You're going to stop being the easy target. You're going to stop being automatically available. You're going to stop explaining yourself. Let them adjust. Their discomfort is proof you're doing it right. Stop being used. Start being strategic. Stop playing by rules that don't exist. Start winning by rules that do. Naive or aware? Used or protected? Prey or predator? There is no middle ground. The game has always had rules. Now you know them. The innocence has ended. The strategy has begun. I'll see you at the top.